welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host. His name is Lawrence Thomas Heisey. Hello, sir.
No, I didn't like that. Do it again.
No.
Say in the world.
Hello,
you throw me off.
Sir.
Oh, hi, Nathan.
Oh, fuck.
What's going on?
Hello, sir.
Hi, Nathan.
Hello.
How are you?
I was going
Interrupt me.
I was going to try jinx you owe me an ice cream because I want an ice cream.
Okay. Well, you've thrown me off so much. What do you mean?
I was going to try to say something at the same time as you and then say, jinx, you owe me an ice cream because I want an ice cream. But also, you have to tell us what this silly little show is all about.
Oh, finally, someone I recognise. Nathan, this is the show where we get together every week to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. It could be a movie, it could be a little telly show. No, stop!
Jinx, you owe me a milkshake.
Jinx, you owe me an ice cream!
No, I was first.
Fuck's sake. Nathan, it could be a video game, but the main thing is we do so without any of the toxic discourse. Why do you want an ice cream so bad?
I don't know, I just got a craving for one. Oh, no.
It's really cold. It's not even warm.
So, are you eating ice creams exclusively in the summer?
No, not exclusively,
Well,
but not when it's
exactly.
this cold out.
Well, they wouldn't sell them otherwise, would they? It's not a seasonal product. It's year-round, baby.
They're not to be enjoyed in the depths of
Then why
winter.
do they sell them? Why can I go to my Tesco now and get myself a delicious ice cream? And why does the ice cream van drive around if it's not to be enjoyed within these times?
There's one that goes around near me, actually. I can't imagine they get a lot of selling.
Of course,
going
everyone. There's no. An ice cream is not just for hot weather. You've been lied to by big parents telling you like it's like when they say no when they play this music, that means it's got no ice cream left. You know that classic one?
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, that's a classic.
I wasn't that hated as a child.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you grew up rich in your castle.
Oh, fuck off. I knew you were trying to spin it like this. Somehow
Times
me not wanting an ice cream in the cold weather
Times were
meant
hard
that I'm rich.
where I was.
Oh, what, so you could only afford expensive ice cream? Is that
I
what
couldn't
your
afford
point is?
any ice cream.
Oh, fuck off.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, maybe I do owe you an ice cream then, since I'm so rich, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Time to pay your dues, I reckon.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, Lauren.
So often we get 3 minutes into a recording and I still wonder, how did we get this far away from topic in 3 minutes alone?
We never even got close. We never even got started with the topic. And Lawrence, this week we are, of course, discussing a movie which is the sequel to another movie which we talked about last week. But we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about its sequel, which I just mentioned. And this is a very confusing way to phrase it all. Anyway, it's called The Empire Strikes Back. It was directed by Irvin Kershner. I don't do this. And it was released in 1980.
I also have this information up. Like, for the first time ever, I also wrote down the director and the year this came out. I don't know. What's going on?
I didn't write this down, but...
Oh, you just know this.
That's just facts, baby. That's off the top of the dome.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
So we're 2 episodes in. This is our second entry into Star Wars Duary, which we named last week. It's on the recording. You can listen to it yourself. You agreed to call this Star Wars Duary.
No, but that sounds like February more than anything.
No, January, February. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
so it's too confusing. I veto. Go on.
Well, you agreed to it last week.
Yeah, but you probably called me when I was like tired or not paying attention or something. So
yeah, that's when I get most of my favors or requests in from you.
Gone. Absolutely not. I do not approve of this.
All right, fine. What about Jan's Star Wars?
Why don't we just say we're doing the Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I mean that works too, I guess.
Instead of trying to force some silly little pun. Which does not work. Okay.
So Nathan, you are a devout cinephile. You are a cinema lover.
This is known about me. My Letterboxd account is called Cinema Nathan because I love movies, and I prove that by my daily watch of Mission Impossible movies.
You've ran out though, so
it's true.
What's next on the roster for you?
Tomorrow is scary because I have no idea what I'm gonna watch. I'm trying to do the one day a movie a day thing like you.
The first time you've ever taken a recommendation off me?
No, I just got annoyed and thought I can beat him at this. So
So you could have just said yes, because it also would have been true that you started doing this after I recommended it on the podcast.
Anyway, Lawrence, I'm a huge cinephile.
Yes, which obviously means that we all, as cinephiles, unilaterally agree that Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars of all Star Wars. And you think every other Star Wars is garbage in comparison? Is that correct?
First of all, okay, I see where you're going with this. Yeah. I understand the point you're getting at, but I'm saying that it's not just cinephiles who think this. It's most people who...
Most Reddit users.
No.
Incels?
No, it's everyone. It's just across the board. It's just everyone seems to hold the opinion that this is the best Star Wars movie. And fair play to them, you know?
I was waiting for some snarky remark. I thought you were going to... Because you've spoken about it. You always used to say that this was your favourite, and then you had an awakening within yourself. There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Yes, I did. I did feel it. No, the thing. No, but that was very specific to me though. Like I can't put that on everyone. But like, okay. What for anyone who doesn't know? Yes, I had a fucking hell. This takes so much lore and backstory to explain. I was a big cinephile. I fell out of love with cinema when I realized I was lying to myself. Part of that lie was that I believed that The Empire Strikes Back was my favorite Star Wars movie, but that was purely because the fact that that's what everyone said. Literally everyone says that Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie. I don't like the Star Wars prequels, that they don't exist. The only good ones are the originals. So that's what I went along with. That's what I said because I wanted to be a card-carrying member of the Film Lovers Club. Then I realized, I don't think that at all, and that's actually all bullshit, and I hate all of that, and I hate everyone who says that. Not really, but, you know. And
everyone who says that, as you've just said, the general populace.
And then I realized that, I can actually like whatever the fuck I want to like, and I was much happier. But I like this movie, though. It is a good Star Wars movie. It's a good movie. It's good.
I think I put it on, and there's so much pressure for it to, like, everyone always says, it's obviously the best one. It's easily the best. It's by far and away. Like, firstly, any of them can be the best. It just has to meet the criteria of you like it the most. And there's not really a scale to judge that on. But I would happily say that this is, like, I can see why this is some people's favorite. Like, it's a really interesting film in that, like, I
can also see why in the fact that it's the only one out of all of them that feature Wilro Hood running with his what is literally just an ice cream maker, but has since been retconned into a Cantoka.
You may as well have been speaking a different language. I don't know what any of that
You'll
means.
Know about this once I explain it, but now I can't.
I recognise the name Wilro Hood.
Yeah, Wilro Hood. He's a guy on Cloud City who is literally just a background extra running through there when it all starts panicking, and he's just running with what is literally just shot for shot an ice cream maker machine. Okay? And Star Wars being Star Wars, everyone's like, oh, that's funny. And then they went, all right, let's give this guy a backstory and everything like that.
I see.
And now at Celebration, every time they do Star Wars Celebration, there's a big running of the Wilro Hoods where there's like thousands of people in cosplay as Wilro Hoods, and they all run through the entire convention with their ice cream makers. And ever since the ice cream maker, like, it's literally just like an ice cream maker from the 70s, but since then it's been like, no, it's actually like a Star Wars safe sort of thing. Like, it's in The Mandalorian a lot. It shows up in The Mandalorian so much because Jon Favreau thinks it's very funny. And they're like, oh, here we got like Beskar, pieces of Beskar in this and stuff. And what's his face? Timmy Elephant, hot Boba Fett, but not really, is like walking through the desert with like the Cantoka and stuff. And you know about this?
I genuinely have never heard this before.
I mean, I've told you this exact story at least.
All right,
3
yeah, but
times.
how many times have I told you stuff, and then the next week you've gone, yeah, I don't remember that.
But when I don't remember, it's funny and cute, Lawrence.
Okay.
When you don't remember, it's annoying.
Yeah, because it's you that it inconveniences. Exactly. I think that just means you're less patient than me.
No, that cannot be true. Where's my ice cream?
I don't know. Ask Wilro fucking Hud or whatever his name is. General thoughts. Where are you at with Empire Strikes Back? Is it where on your ever-changing current Star Wars ranking does it sit? How do you feel about it?
It currently sits in 4th place.
Ooh. What's in front of it?
Number 1, the movie you probably don't like. Number 2, Return of the Jedi. Number 3, A New Hope. Number 4, this.
What's the one I don't like?
Not you. I was speaking generally to the audience, but
is it Rise of Skywalker?
No, The Last Jedi.
Oh, I like. Yeah. Our audience should hopefully like The Last Jedi.
Well, I was speaking generally. The Last Jedi. The Rise of Skywalker is number 5.
Oh, okay, so it's right after.
Straight after, yeah.
It's a really interesting thing because it's like, and I won't go on too long about this because I want to get into the actual like stuff that's in the film. But like it kind of, if the first one was all about like the hero's journey, this is the kind of the film. This is where a sequel should go, right? Where it should take the character dynamics a bit deeper. It like explores some of the lore from the first one. Like I want to talk a little bit about the Force and how it explores the Force in a deeper context and like kind of expands on certain things that it brought up in the first one. But like,
it's got incest.
Wait, excuse me. Oh my god, it does. Yeah.
Was that a sort of shock to you? Was it?
No, in my head I was processing what you said, and at first I thought you said incense, and I was like, "Is there a nice fragrance in this movie?" And then I was wondering what other weird incense 70s burner could you be referring to? But no, it does have incest.
Straight up cold hard incest.
I feel like that could have been taken out.
No.
No. I want it. I want it in there.
It's integral.
I mean, they don't know, but at the same time,
they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
No one knew.
No, but the filmmakers did. Oh no,
they didn't. Yeah. George wasn't right in there. It's like, I'm gonna make the brother and sister kiss.
Yeah, but then they had like at the end, it's revealed that there's a Force connection, and Yoda says there is another,
which makes it all the more confusing, and we will get into it. But
okay,
that was not known at this point.
Okay, I have to readjust. Whenever we do that, I have to readjust my mind. Talking about the movie as it was when it came out.
Yes.
Character-wise, right.
Everyone's back. We got
Everyone
Luke.
is back.
He's got a new face. We got Luke. We got Han Solo. We got Carrie Fisher. We got a gay robot with anxiety. We got a small robot. We got masked evil man. We got well, that's pretty much it for returning Carrie Fisher.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. Oh, Wedge is there. Wedge is like, hello, I'm here too for a moment.
Oh yeah, and who's the one that takes on the whole empire by himself and dies?
Dak, rest in peace to a king.
I like the Family Guy joke about him, where it's like, I could do this, I could take on the whole empire by myself, and then he just flies out by himself and then gets shot.
Big Family Guy fan of you.
Yeah, right. You've seen it, and I've seen it, and there are funny moments to it.
You love Family Guy, don't you?
No, I don't love
You're
Family.
In fact,
I don't think I've ever seen more than 3 full episodes of Family Guy.
You're always watching Family Guy clips with Subway Surfers on in the background.
No, that's you. I don't even have TikTok.
Well, I never said TikTok. You're doing it organically. TikTok. You're doing it organically.
Oh, I see.
You're playing Subway Surfers and then watching Family Guy clips at the same time.
But I'm holding up my phone to the TV so I can stay looking at Family Guy as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Fine. All right. I think in the first one, all the characters have to like trust each other out of necessity.
By the way, I quite like Family Guy. I think it genuinely is quite funny.
Good. So thanks for that.
I just like making fun of you.
I know, and I don't even know why. I didn't do anything wrong. Fuck you. All right, in the first one, all the characters have this, like, they have to trust each other out of necessity, right? Like, Leia doesn't have the opportunity to escape without Luke and Han. Han and Luke would be terrible at escaping without Leia. Luke wouldn't even get off Tatooine if it wasn't for Ben. Like, all of this stuff, all of their relationships are kind of, like, out of necessity. They have to, so, you know, they need Han to even get off Tatooine, on the ship and stuff. Like, they all need each other, whereas in this is now the first time where they can, like, and it's a big point in the movie where they all can split up and go off and do their separate things. And what I like about that is the reasons why they choose to actually stay.
Yeah.
And like,
but they don't.
Because, well, no, not stay together, but like, Han is like, oh, I'm gonna leave, and then doesn't leave, spends the whole movie not leaving. And like,
he spends quite a bit of the movie leaving.
Well, yeah, but like with Leia, and like he's gonna get Leia somewhere.
Yeah, he doesn't leave Leia. Yeah,
yeah, it's all a very, and I also, for Han Solo's character as well, it's also a very like, I'll stay if I have to. Oh no, and I've been inconvenienced, and I have to stay with this woman. Like, it's, I don't know. What I like is that they can explore those character relationships a bit deeper now that they're not all like because in the first movie as well, it's urgent and it's hectic, and they've got like limited time to do stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, there are long stretches where they like have to kind of sit amongst themselves and pass the time, and Luke has to really look deeper into who he is, and Han and Leia get a lot more downtime to talk.
Yeah.
Like, what do you make of like how those characters change, I guess, or develop?
I love the especially in the opening of the movie, we just get a nice bit of time just to see Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher just yell at each other, just so much, just so much screaming at each other, which is something they both do very well. It's great. There's just people like walking through them. As you just have to imagine they're like, oh, fucking these two again, just. All right, yeah. Like I gotta get to like fucking maintenance or something. It's just like walking through these two having another screaming match. So that's fun. They're two of the best to ever scream.
Those two kind of going back and forth as well. Like it's such a fun opening because it's Han has this like demeanor of like, yeah, I just I just saved the day. Like he says to Luke, that's two you owe me, and all of this. Like he knows that Luke took the shot, but Luke wouldn't have been able to take the shot without him. So he does walk around that base like he owns it a little bit.
That means he's been riding that high for 3 years at this point. Like,
but he probably has.
Like, get over it, Han. All right.
But I feel like he has been, and like he has been that up himself for that amount of time. And I like that Leia is. You're right that they're back and forth. It's very like antagonistic flirting. Like it's those two people that are obviously in love with each other that can't admit it to themselves at all.
Yeah, like me and you.
Yeah,
we have that will they won't they tension.
We do. It's palpable in every episode. I think. Yeah. I think it's like a noticeably funnier movie. Like you've got quite a lot of like Chewie roaring that is very funny. You've got a lot of C-3PO.
Always hilarious whenever Chewie roars.
No, but like
I'm always laughing.
No, they're back and forth with like Han and Chewie. Like Chewie's trying to fix the Falcon, and he's like, roar, and Han's like, no, and like goes. It's a nice back and forth between them, is what I'm saying.
I think it's funny watching the behind the scenes stuff of this, to be honest, because Peter Mayhew actually just delivered the lines just in like Cockney English. Yeah, so you can just see Chewbacca going, "No, I said use the corkscrew for this one," and it's very funny.
What? So I guess that helps Harrison Ford a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes some of the magic out of his performance when he wasn't just reacting to complete ineligible roars, though.
Yeah.
No, but you've also got C-3PO. Like, there's a great moment where like Han shuts him up. Like, he just puts his hand over a mouth that isn't where his voice is coming from.
I've always wondered how that works. How does that shut a droid? Because it happened in Ahsoka as well. Like,
did it? Well, who was that?
Someone shut Hu Yang up by just putting their hand over his mouth, and I'm like, surely he's a droid. He doesn't even have a mouth. First of all,
I guess it's more just they sense that something is on them, and they're like, what's this? And it shocks them into silence. Yeah, no, I don't know. There's funny moments a bit later on with like Luke on his way to Dagobah, and R2 makes a few beeps, and Luke goes, "Yes, it's safe for droids," and then it just hard cuts to R2 just screaming while they're like flying down to the surface. There's good little beats in this that are very, very fun. No, don't agree?
I don't know, I just lost all energy.
You think this is fucking joyless? You hate this movie.
I think it's a good bit of fun. I do. But one moment I always like in particular is when one of the admirals fails. One of like the Empire admirals fails Vader, and by that I mean they did their job, but the rebels won. So there they go.
Yeah.
And then obviously Vader reacts in a very normal way by just killing him in front of everyone, which seems doesn't seem like the best like job security to have.
Seems like an HR violation.
It does, yeah. But whatever. But he like chokes him through the video screen, and then he's like, "Captain Piet, you will not fail me now." And Captain Piet's like, "Yes, very good, Lord." And he's just awkwardly
just watching this guy's
like
hand like
yeah, while the other guy just like chokes out and then drops to the floor. And then like he has just like this very funny just like I don't even know how to describe it, but just like once like the call's over, he's just like, "Oh, there's a body. Okay, well, off we go." And stuff like that. It's quite funny.
That's one of my favorite. Like, it's not. I don't know. Is it like an ongoing gag? Feels a bit like a gag.
It's not really a gag. It's just one of those things which.
It happens like 3 times.
It does. Vader does kill a lot of like Imperial like officers in this movie.
The one thing I've never clocked as well is that at the end when he had Luke, and he let Luke escape, and Vader returns to the Star Destroyer or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And his like little thing like lands. The door opens up, and there's a load of Imperial guards there to meet him. Or like Imperial officers there in a row to give him his welcome. And he just like, he has to kind of walk past them all. And I'm like, that might be embarrassing. He's just spent the entire movie just choking out people for losing the rebels. And then he chopped one's hand off, and then he still managed to escape him. And he's like, oh, this is really awkward.
Yeah, but this is Anakin Skywalker, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. It's all right when he does it. But like, whenever it's
one rule
else,
for him,
then they're going to pay.
Yeah, it's a double standard if you ask me, and I think it's not fair.
Yeah.
But then again, neither is killing your employees. So, what do we know about being dictators? Oh, that's another thing. The Empire feels fucking like the scale of the Empire feels massive in this. Like,
well, it is. Yeah, if you think about it, we only really saw the Death Star in. We saw a Star Destroyer and the Death Star in A New Hope, but now we're seeing the whole fleet. We're seeing the introduction of a super Star Destroyer. And we're like, whoa, this is big. This is like a whole city on a ship. And you know, we get that great scene where it's like all introduced. We see the Imperial fleet, and we get the Imperial March for the first time as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's all good stuff. Yeah, big step. And we get the man himself. We get the Emperor.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, back in the day, you got a weird kind of like, isn't it like
chimp eyes or something?
Yeah, like I think it's an old woman with chimp eyes.
It's like an old woman, and they put like chimp eyes on her, and then the voice of like some weird man somewhere. So
yeah,
definitely a natural performance.
Yeah. That Star Wars loves that, don't they? Just taking 3 people to mesh together,
completely
something.
Frankenstein in something together, and then being like, "Yeah, this is a normal thing."
Yeah, why not? No, but there's also like, in terms of the far reach of the Empire, there's also like little moments where they say, you know, we've got probe droids scanning like every far reach of the galaxy. There's little moments where you feel like the one of the guys in the AT-AT is like, he's got like just a big old smirking grin while he's shooting rebels. Like, it all feels that much
Lawrence.
more.
That's General Veers. Finally.
Oh, is that?
He makes his debut.
Oh, okay. Again, this is. I just thought that was a guy. Who is this?
It's General Veers.
What is he known for? What does he do?
Mostly that funny Twitter account, Veers Watch.
I don't even know this. There's so much Star Wars stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, well.
You all love ice cream makers and follow this Star Wars account or something. I don't know.
You're not caught up on your lore, Lawrence.
I don't think I could ever be. I think you give me 100 years and I wouldn't be able to catch up on all this Star Wars lore.
You could. Oh, I've done it in 30, so you could.
Yeah, but you've devoted your life to this lore.
I mean, that's not true at all.
No, but like you love this. You love this.
Yeah, I've not devoted my life to it though. You mentioned it there. You said 80-80.
Yeah.
And that's a big point of contention because, like, some people, and it's mostly older people who grew up with, like, the toy commercials where it's like, get the new AT-AT from Walker or whatever. But it's 80-80.
AT-AT just sounds stupid.
Yeah. And also it then doesn't work because then you have ATA CTs. 88, 80 ASTs. Like, it's not AT-AST, is it? It's not AT-ACT.
What? But also, it's always like spelled out. R2D2, C3PO. Like, they're always fully sounded out.
Yeah, it's true.
It's never like but then some people write 3PO, don't they? People are dumb.
They can say it, but they're wrong.
No, Nathan. How could the first thing be wrong? How could that happen? That's not fair. All right, can we talk about Yoda?
He's little, he's green, he's a little rat boy or whatever.
He's a rat boy. He's not a rat boy.
He is. He's a little rat.
He's a little hermit, man.
He's a little hermit. He's very clearly like based on like an old crazy like samurai sensei sort of thing. He's got that vibe about him, and he's a little freak. You know what I was thinking about when I was watching this movie? I couldn't help but think, like, if this movie came out today, it would be fucking crucified, mate. People would take one look at that Yoda scene and be like, what? Fucking Yoda is this weird little creature who makes jokes and he laughs and hits R2 with a stick. What? There would be clips of like that with just like the skull emoji on Twitter being like, what is this? Like,
oh, that's true. Yeah,
they'd be like, because apparently having a laugh in a movie is the biggest fucking crime ever now for some reason. God forbid, mate.
It's a sign of like media literacy in general and how much it has descended into the depths of hell. Yeah. But like there also would have been like people like, oh, why did he suddenly just change his whole personality? Not realizing like he's testing Luke, he's putting on a thing.
Yeah.
Like he's doing a bit for Luke. They would be like, oh, suddenly he just switched up when the movie needed to get serious. Bad character writing. Like, no. I love that. I have you ever seen this on a big screen? Have you seen this in the cinema before?
No, I haven't.
I was lucky enough to be like on my this was a couple of years ago on my phone as I got a notification that like they were doing the original trilogy, and the only time that was free was Empire. I wanted to do all three of them, but the only one I managed to get to see was Empire, and I don't know what it is, but like there's certain magic moments of this that just like on a big screen with all the lights out and like it's just wonderful. Like Yoda's "No, there is another." Like that line, like with the way that like Luke's ship, like the red light, kind of like engulfs Yoda's face in it. Like
I really like the way the lighting works in that scene, because like it's Luke's ship like rising and then turning and then flying away, but you have all that reflected purely through the light. You have it, like the light rise up and then it turns around and moves away from Yoda, so it just completely like surrounds him in darkness, and then like the red light comes in and then that illuminates him for a second, but then that goes away as well as the ship pulls away. It's really well done, really, and especially like when you take it with like what he's saying about the last hope being taken away, and then there is another hope as well, and that sort of stuff. It's thematically it's really good, and that was me being a film cunt finished with. That's it. That's all you get.
But you're stuck with me now, unfortunately, who was entering the cinematography part of his notes page. Nate, all right,
I just want to talk about Yoda hitting R2 with a stick and eating his little soup.
All right,
with his snakes everywhere.
If we talk about Yoda first, will you then let me just have some free reign to talk about very briefly aspect ratios?
I'll give you 2 minutes to talk about aspect ratios, and not
what now or after Yoda?
After Yoda.
Okay. Yoda's hitting R2 with a stick. It's good fun.
He is. He's a lot of fun. I love this little mischievous sort of side we see to Yoda every now and then. It's a lot of fun. It was missing a little bit from the prequels because he was fighting a war and he was all this sort of stuff.
Very somber and serious.
Yeah, very somber and serious. There was elements of it around, but it was mostly missing. But it's good to see little mischievous little rat cunt Yoda just having fun and just being great. It's
one of my favourite things about The Last Jedi is the return of rat cunt Yoda.
Yeah, it's so good. Just like,
having a little wobbling his little feet on the ground, kicking up,
hitting Luke with his stick and everything like that. It's a lot of fun. And then he's like, "Oh, this was sacred Jedi tree." Nah, fuck it, burn it, mate. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love that. Like it's the old like fairy tale thing, isn't it? Like the hero's test of character.
Yeah,
which like normally they pass in like traditional stories, and like that's the trope is that normally a hero would be like, oh, it might be like a give money to the poor. Here's my last bit of food that I give to the poor, the less fortunate, and they'd pass the test. But like in this, like Yoda is there, and he presents himself deliberately as a small nuisance in Luke's way, that is there to like distract him and be deliberately aggravating, and Luke like immediately just is like, fuck off. Like,
fuck off, you little
you're
green
annoying
rat
me.
Cunt.
Yeah. And he's getting fucked off. He's like insulting where he lives.
Luke thinks he's here to meet some big alpha Chad, like fucking absolute monster of a Jedi master, who'll just like teach him how to do flips and spin lightsabers around and all this kind of stuff. But no, he's here to meet this little rat.
Yeah, and the fact that he is a little rat, like it's It's the whole point, right? Like Luke can't lift his ship out of the little bog thing, so he says it's too big, and he goes, size matters not. Look at me, and it's like I love all of that of like, and that this is what I'm saying about kind of how the Force is explored a little bit further, but they don't add rules to it. They just expand the mysticism of it. They say like it's not about it. It's not a power. It's not a superpower you have. It's an ally that needs to be respected to answer your call. Like I love all of that stuff, and I think it's a very, very like clever visual representation of being like this small green nuisance that is like 1,000,000 years old and a little hermit in a cave that drinks like fucking mud soup or whatever, right? Like he is possibly the most powerful being alive. To Luke's knowledge, and I love that. I think that's really, really clever.
There is another line that's always been interesting to me, because like now it's Leia. We know that it's Leia now, but in 1980, who was it? Who was that other?
Oh, there is another.
Yeah.
So was there any part of it being Leia? Because Leia is Force sensitive, and that's revealed at the end of the movie.
No, it's not. No, it's not though. That's the thing.
But they call to each other.
Yeah, but in 1980, it's a thing now. It's a thing now, but in 1980, it was more just a Luke calling out to her through the Force sort of thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So much for Star Wars is just accidentally like worked out for the better. Like,
they lucked into it so hard.
Like a lot of this is just, that's fell into place quite nice. Like, yeah, that kind of works. So yeah,
and some of it is tactical Disney engineering. How can we make that work a bit?
Yeah, kind of. But then some of it is also, that kind of doesn't work because they made out. But whatever. Yeah. We just mostly ignore that. But yeah, like Leia was never supposed to be Force sensitive. She's never mentioned as Force sensitive or anything like that in this movie or anything.
Okay, I never took it as that. Because that's the kiss thing has always felt weird to me because of I've always thought that they must have had an idea that Luke and Leia had a connection, but it makes far more sense in 1980s context for it to be Luke just reaching out to Leia rather than it being like a two-way phone call Force thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes a bit of sense. But yeah, I don't know, who could it be? Yeah.
Cal Kestis.
I mean, yeah, it could be 1,000,000 people now. But
no, that's
back
who he was
in
talking
the day,
about in 1980. Yeah,
I see.
Is Cal Kestis.
And then at the end, in the credits, it's based on characters not yet created by EA and Lucasfilm and everything else.
And me.
Right, Nathan, time to get wanky.
Oh, all right.
All right, thank you. Normally, Nathan, a 4:3 aspect ratio is the best aspect ratio for faces and placement, buildings and such. Because you obviously,
I already regret this.
Right, it's taller. It's a taller aspect ratio.
4:3 is not the best aspect ratio for anything.
You're wrong. It's very cool for certain things.
Shut up.
Fuck's sake. That's why a lot of TV uses it.
What's it cool for? No, TV used it in the 90s and early 2000s, but then we all got bigger TVs and then realized, 16:9, this is better. Let's use this.
Yeah, but TV got wider, but it never shrunk down the way that CinemaScope and I think it's 2391 is the standard now. Like most films are that.
Yeah.
And it never shrunk down because it's a great 4:3 was a great starting point, and it's good to return in terms of movies where there's no side room. It's if you want to shoot a face, you can shoot an entire face without anything else distracting your focus or pulling away. If you want to shoot a big tall building, you can have a big tall building without the sides pulling away at focus, dragging the audience's eye elsewhere.
All right, but then what's the difference between you saying that and then me saying, well, clearly all movies should be shot on an iPhone in vertical, because then if I want to shoot this building, I can shoot this building.
No, I'm saying it's... What point are you making?
I'm saying you're a stone's throw away from being shot on an iPhone in fucking portrait mode.
Yeah, but some things are good for that.
What? Nothing is good for that.
All right, but right. I think there are certain... obviously, a cinematographer has the right to choose the look for the movie and the visual space that they want to fill.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't think that a film should have the creative freedom to choose the screen that it's like the format that it's in.
No,
Given that most of
because
the
I
time
think
it's rescanned and put in the format for you anyway.
No, because it's annoying. Because I think there should be a standard format for all of them.
That's so strange. Why? What does it do for you?
Because it's so annoying when it's constantly switching aspect ratios. I've said this many times.
No, not switching. I'm talking about a constant presentation.
But then but then it doesn't fit my TV.
It does fit the TV.
No, because so you're saying you're in favour of Snyder's Justice League being in 4:3 for no reason?
I'd say there is I don't like the movie, but there is an absolute reason why that's done like that.
What is the reason, apart from to seem arty and pretentious?
No, it's not. This is what you always say. When you don't understand something, you have to say it's arty and pretentious, because there's an insecurity that you don't get it, therefore it must be something like, or if I don't get it, it's beyond.
I will admit, I don't get it, and I do think it is pretentious, because like I don't see the benefit of it. It's just doing something in a worse way for no reason.
It's not worse. It's right. You know how sometimes when you watch,
to me, it's worse because it's an outdated format that we got rid of. It's a format that we used in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and a little bit of the early noughties for TV, and then we got bigger, better TVs. And so we're like, this is now obsolete. Let's not use this. But now every now and then, some filmmaker is like, no, actually, this is true cinema and you're wrong.
Firstly, I'm not going to judge the quality of... I think there are plenty of shit movies that are in 4:3. I watched Saltburn recently, right? Everyone's going on about Saltburn. I think it's fucking dreadful, and that's in 4:3. And it uses 4:3 in a really good way, but it's a bad fucking movie.
I haven't seen it, and I know nothing about it.
But this is my point. I'm not like, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. There are movies that do it well, and there are movies that, like you say, are just doing it because it's an old-timey, pretentious thing to do. I think, like... Funnily enough, Zack Snyder is the one I wouldn't go to for that, because he shoots faces very close for like, especially in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And one of my visual complaints about movies like Man of Steel and especially Batman v Superman is that there's too much bullshit on either side of the frame. He shoots cool imagery from too far away, and I can't see the detail. Like,
isn't that what a fucking blur effect is for? So you can just frame.
But that's more of a style. Sometimes you don't want to sacrifice the realism that you're trying to put on the screen but also blurring it is more of a distraction.
It's not a distraction. It's just what you're focusing on is in focus.
When you say a blur, do you mean a soft and hard focus,
so what you're meant to look at is in focus, and the rest.
Yeah, but then still, if you're shooting in like a colourful thing, then it's going to be like a red soft focus in the background that might pull your attention. Or people just right. What I don't know. I'm not. This isn't even the hill I'm trying to die on.
But where do you draw the line? Because then, like, the filmmaker wants you to focus on then. Well, only have that then. Make everything else a black room and only put that in it. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I think you're draw the line? I think that is a moronic take.
If a filmmaker wants you to focus on that, then just shoot that and hope the audience is smart enough to understand that they need... Don't just purposefully change the fucking camera because your audience is stupid enough and they won't focus on what you want them to focus on.
Have you ever been filming something on your phone?
No.
And... Have you ever been filming something on your phone and then gone, I'm going to turn I'm going to turn it the other way so I can fit more people in? Or just taken a photo in general? Right.
Yes.
Have you ever taken a photo to get someone's full outfit in a frame in a vertical mode, and then if you want to take a group photo of people, you would turn it landscape so you can fit more faces and shoulder upwards faces in the frame, right?
Yes.
So you're wrong. That's my point. That's what filmmakers do.
How?
That is literally the point of changing it so that you can focus on different things.
No, but it's different because
not. Nathan,
no, because I'm not then viewing those. No, but. A picture of friends and a film are two very different things.
The only reason it aggravates you is because you have a thing about it. If it doesn't touch the corners of your TV, it pisses you off. That's the only reason.
Not even. No, it's a picture and those don't line up at all. A picture and a film are two very different things, okay?
They're different mediums, but they're capturing imagery on a screen, are they not?
Yeah, but hundreds of millions of people aren't seeing mine.
Sometimes I think I need a third co-host to be a deciding vote between us, because I think if there was another person here, they would say, it doesn't matter and you're insane. You don't have to watch movies in 4:3. There's like a lot of Nolan movies are put to 70mm, which is a taller frame. You don't see them like that. And if you don't seek them out, very rarely do you get the opportunity to see them and presented in that way. So it doesn't matter.
Then my argument is, what's the fucking point in doing them that way then?
Because it's a better experience for the people that get to see it in that way.
Well, then that's elitist. If you're making
movies...
It's not. It is. If you're making movies that only fucking 5% of people will ever see that way, and that is the ultimate best way to experience it, that's elitist. Why not make that one the accessible one for the masses?
Because when it would come out, then people like you would go, oh, he's in a stupid aspect ratio, it doesn't fit my TV, it's cunty, it's pretentious, wah. Like, they make it generally accessible so that they don't get shit like this. You telling me right now, if you got a movie come out and people told you this is the best way it can be presented, and they put it on your TV and it landed in a 4:3, right? Because that is the point you're arguing for. If that is the best way to see it, then you want that version. You would be unhappy with that version because you would then go, why is it not the way I normally like it?
No, I personally would be unhappy with it. But if that's the best way, if that's what the filmmaker intended, if that's the best way to see it, then everyone should be able to see that version and that version only. Why do we have these different versions?
Because some people like going to the cinema to experience it. Some people like that different experience. You know, like a fucking... the atmosphere is different actually at the sports game as it is. You don't get the commentary. You get the commentary on the TV, but not in the live stadium.
But what? So why can't that version be the cinema for everyone?
So I'm saying different experiences, right? You get they
but why
tailored
does it have
for
to
different.
Be? Why does it have to be different? Why can the version that's shown in the cinema not be the same version that's shown at home?
Because a lot of the time the TVs aren't built for it. Like it's not technology.
My TV is not built to show a 70mm film.
No!
Why not? It's just an aspect ratio.
In the broadest speaking sense, yes.
Yes, but why can't I see that version of it on my TV?
Because it would dwarf the rest of your TV. The sides of your TV would look hilariously too big because the 70mm print would be so thin on your TV that it would not mean you would even be able to make out what was going on clearly on the screen.
So essentially it looks like I'm watching a portrait video.
Picture that, I guess. Not exactly, but yeah.
Seems kind of dumb.
No, I think what's dumber is not accepting that certain things are tailored for certain experiences. This is not even cute anymore. People won't give a fuck about this. This is not... Did you know what this was, right? In my notes, of which I wanted to talk about cinematography, this is 2 lines, right? And I was actually going to say... CinemaScope in general, used in this movie, manages to do a better job at capturing faces and location than 4:3, which is normally not the case. Normally the opposite is true. And I was interested in that. My note was going to praise the opposite, but you didn't let me get past the first sentence, and we've then argued about aspect ratios for like half a year again.
I apologize. I'll keep my thoughts to myself in the future.
Oh, he's got a little hard done by smirk on him now. He's upset.
I'm not upset. I'm just not allowed to voice my own opinions. Apparently, I get yelled at for my own opinions.
I disagree with your opinion on this matter specifically.
And you can. I disagree with yours.
I feel mine is based in a bit more facts.
You
than
say,
yours
yeah,
is.
My opinion's right.
No, because I know. Right,
my
be honest.
Right.
Do I or do I not know more about film production and aspect ratios in general than you do?
Yeah, I don't know about film production. Aspect ratios, yeah, sure, I'll give you that. But I don't know about film, because I know a fair bit. You like to make me out to be a dumb cunt who doesn't know anything about film, but I actually do know quite a bit about what I'm talking about. Okay.
All right, fine, but this is something that specifically I looked into this because I was genuinely curious.
Okay, but am I not entitled to my own opinion about aspect ratios?
You're allowed to your opinion, but then to call anything other than your opinion elitist and dumb and stupid and pretentious and wanky,
I think by definition, having something only available to a certain subject of the population is elitist.
But why does it matter? You prefer it the other way anyway, and you don't go to 70mm screenings. So why does it matter to you?
Maybe I would if I had the option.
Well, yeah, all right, but I can't help the infrastructure in the UK. In America, they're all 70mm are all over the place. But in the UK, we're just not that ahead of it. I can't go to... There's only one 70mm near me, and it's a fucking hour train away. Like, it's not something I do all the time. It's just a format that I think is interesting and cool.
I don't see the point of it, personally.
Have you ever been to one?
No.
That might be a reason why.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Call me reductive, call me whatever you want, but I don't want to watch a movie in fucking portrait mode on TikTok.
Just not,
and to me, this is
you don't understand it. It's not what it is.
How is it any different?
Well, one, it's not on portrait mode in TikTok. It's just a taller frame. It's not less wide. It's just taller.
But that's less wide. Taller is less wide. It is though, isn't it? If you put them side by side, it is.
I think you know what this is, but you don't. And I think you haven't ever seen it in person.
Explain to me what it is then.
But I've just done that.
Wrong? Where am I going wrong with this?
You assume it's just taller and that's it. Like and then the version that you're getting is a lesser version. It's just a different version with less on the screen because it's tailored to fit your TV better or the general populace TV. Like it's.
And you're talking about 70mm here,
right? The one thing I can speak about from experience, right? I've seen The Dark Knight. Right, The Dark Knight is a movie that pretty much everyone on the planet has seen. Yeah. And normally it's presented in CinemaScope, right, which is 2391, right? It's a thin boy.
Yes.
But however, when it was originally filmed, it was filmed on 70mm IMAX cameras, which have a bigger, wider aspect ratio. So a taller. So that when you see it on a cinema that can cater for 70mm. Some IMAXs do it just like a 70mm lighter version. Most of what IMAX is just a slightly lesser quality 70mm. That's why some films get the IMAX treatment and others that were never shot with IMAX cameras don't. Right? This is like when I saw Dark Knight, it's just more movie. It's like before where part of, I don't know, Heath Ledger's hair was cut off. You get to see a bit more of that. And the reason that is better is because in a bigger screening of things, and this is something Zack Snyder does quite well in Justice League, it's used to shoot closer up. That scene where Heath Ledger takes off the clown mask, and you get in the 70mm print, you get his whole face. You can see his hair in it, whereas in the CinemaScope version, which is the version that's readily available to most people, it's quite cropped in. You pretty much get just his eyes and his mouth. And there's I just like to see it in its. I like to see what was captured on the thing. Call me pretentious or whatever, it doesn't matter. But that is just something I like to see the original image as it was captured, and I think it's cool. And that's not even just what 4:3 is. Like for the reason
it's basically 4:3 though, isn't it?
4:3 is the closest you can experience at home that would be like that ratio, aspect ratio.
So I don't get what the difference is.
But can you not just agree though that a cinematographer who knows infinitely more about this situation than me or you, right, would be able to go, yeah, this is the best kind of framing device for the story I want to tell?
No, because again, I think all movies should be in CinemaScope.
Right. Does it? Right. But all right. Does it bother you then when you see an older movie? Right. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this does, but Finding Nemo is a wide movie. It fits a fucking just the normal TV size, like a standard TV show would now. Does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me, but it does feel less like a movie.
I can't understand that mindset of it.
Like Avengers 2012.
Yeah, Avengers, perfect. Yeah.
Feels less like a movie to me.
Well, I mean, maybe Avengers is bad example because that's lit like a fucking TV movie anyway.
It is.
That film looks crap. Movie. Yeah.
Anytime there's a fucking a Marvel movie that's in 16:9, I'm like, why? This is and a lot of TV shows now are doing CinemaScope because they want to be more cinematic as well, and
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I like it. The CinemaScope's a good look. To me that feels cinematic. CinemaScope. It feels like this is what all movies should be. All right, and I personally just don't see the point of just changing this because you want to have this one shot of a face there or whatever.
But it's not just one shot. A lot of the time, the cinematographer will choose to. Again, in Saltburn, don't like the movie, but it's a good example, right? The whole movie is about basically a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? It's supposed to be this guy who is negotiating his way and manipulating his way around the big family estate, meaning that there's two things that are important to capture. One is the size of the estate, and two, the close-up, in-depth detail of someone's face.
We probably talked about this for way too long, but
right. But I wanted to move on from this a minute ago, but you asked me to explain it, so I'm doing that.
Yeah,
right.
Because I didn't understand, and I still don't. But I just think, just make someone else. Then don't make a movie.
Don't make your story because Nathan doesn't like the black bars.
Make a TV show. Make a TV show. Just
but that's insane.
It's called CinemaScope.
Oh my god.
Why are we changing it? I think it should be standardized.
I think that's so boring. That's all art should fit into this box. That's
it's not
so
like
boring.
that at all.
It's quite literally, think about what I just said. You want all art to fit into a square for you.
First of all, calling movies all art is a bit much, all right?
All right, then all art in the visual sense.
No. I can see why you draw that conclusion, but no. I personally, and this is just me, I'm not enforcing this on anyone. This is just my opinion and the way I feel. I just like it better when it's in CinemaScope. It feels more cinematic to me. Feels more like a movie. Like I say,
I think that's just home comforts. I think that's just what you're used to.
But yes, because it's what it is. It's what it has been. But when I'm watching like fucking like the Avengers 2012 and it's in 16:9, I'm like, why am I watching this CW TV show? You know?
But that's part and parcel with the Avengers.
Yeah, but other stuff as well. Like, why am I doing this? You know?
I hear what you're saying. I disagree on almost every point, but anyway, right. And now to praise the format that you love so much, right? Look, back to Empire Strikes Back. I don't know how much of that I'll cut down. But yeah. Anyway,
none of it if you're not a coward.
Huh?
None of it if you're not a coward.
All right, fine. It's all staying. Yeah. So anyway, normally 4x3 is regarded by.
Are we still talking about this?
Huh?
Are we still talking about this?
No, this is my further point on Empire.
Oh, okay.
But I'm now revisiting the 4x3
I said you get 2 minutes on aspect ratios.
I didn't make it last this long. I was happy to read my note verbatim, and we would have been done with it half an hour ago.
I know, I'm joking.
Fuck you. Look, normally people often regard, or not Nathan, but other people sometimes regard the 4x3 is specific for faces and buildings, right? It's good if you want to capture an in-depth sense of a setting or people's expressions and like specific details of what's going on in their like micro expressions and all of this stuff. But this is like, I think something about the design of this movie and the look and the cinematography and the work of it in general is really, really good, that it manages to capture these sweeping environments and like people. It manages to do what 4x3 is known for doing well in the more accessible I don't know I think it's 2351, this movie, not 39, which is not quite CinemaScope, I don't think, but it's pretty much the same fucking thing. But yeah, it manages to show like places like Hoth and Dagobah and stuff. It manages to capture, like, every shot has this great sense of where the characters are, and that's obviously part and parcel with like the set design looks incredible and looks as good as it does. But like even spaces on the Falcon and stuff, it manages to, like, if they're not important, it manages to like pull focus to Han and Leia, so it's not so clear that they're on the Falcon. It just gives more the vibe of it.
Do that.
Huh?
Just do that.
Right, but that's not always the best way to do it. And like,
why?
This is because it's a lot of the time cinematographers aren't as good as the guy that shot this. Like, well, this is
call me harsh, but that sounds like their problem. Well, okay.
All right. Yeah, but I can't control the industry and who hires people, Nathan. Right? Well, I just think it's 4x3. Fuck you. I'm not getting back into this. Right? Like, it's this movie. Its cinematography is interesting because it manages to capture things that aren't usually well captured in this. You think about shots in Batman v Superman again, for example, right? Of like Batman standing in mist and stuff. Yeah, it looks cool, right? But there's so much visual shit going on either side of Batman that you almost don't even see Batman until your eyes adjust.
I mean, it's hard to. I don't. There's no example, so it's hard to.
Yeah, but like, all right. But my point being, like, sometimes it takes this movie never feels like it takes your eyes a second to go, where should I be looking? Like, it pulls your focus where it needs to be, but also doesn't ignore these grand, well-dressed settings and places like Cloud City, Hoth, Dagobah. They all look brilliant. And yeah, I think it's really, really shot very, very well. You get a great sense of character, but also the space that they're kind of sandwiched in.
I like Lando.
Yeah.
Lando's pretty cool. He makes
Lando
his
is
debut
cool.
here. Obviously, he was played by Billy Glover in that movie. Not Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, Billy D.
That's probably where I got those confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Revisiting this made me realize Donald Glover's performance is actually really solid as well. Like,
it is. Yeah.
It's a really good, like, younger take on this character.
Yeah. It's really good. You've always been like weird. You've always had that weird Lando take though, where you hate him.
It's not that I hate him. I just think he's I don't know, in a world where, like, in a universe where everyone's out to get the main three characters, right? Like, they have the rebellion, and I know the rebellion grows, but it's very it's very difficult to trust people galaxy. And Lando is not trusted, but is still someone they would refer to as like an ally. He's not an enemy. And then, like, when he betrays Han in this way, it's a little bit like, I get why, but, like, there are characters that would have just been like, nah, fucking kill me, rather than, like, it's very within Lando to make the trade. I don't know. I feel often he gets celebrated and they give him his big shoot the Death Star moment next week, right? But I don't know. There's part of Lando that, when I've already watched Han Solo be this guy and transform out of being this guy,
I think you're wrong and insane, because
it's like retreading old ground, though. I think he's a bit more of a coward than Han was.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Han still preferred a straight fight and would still defy the Empire. He wouldn't make sneaky trades.
Han has never had an entire city filled with civilians and children to look out for. Okay?
Yeah.
So shut up.
Fine.
Okay?
Look, I'm not telling you. I'm not saying I understand Lando more than you.
He's got the entirety of Bespin to look out for and to make sure is safe, okay? When it comes to, the security of all of Bespin, including a lot of children, or this guy he knew 10 years ago,
Yeah, but he's
but
I knew him last.
But he
I've
had
known
that
him
cool
for
game
that
of
time.
Sabacc that one time, didn't he? Oh, no.
Look. Yeah, you make fair points. I'll say that. But at the same time, nah. He's got... next week, I'll reassess. He has to earn my trust back.
No, he doesn't have to earn anything. He did what he needed to do, and I think he's fine for that. Lando's a good guy. He's a great guy, even. And also, he helps to... When, Vader keeps altering the deal, he's like, oh, fuck this, man.
Yeah, he gets frustrated by it, and I guess Vader's not a fair person to deal with.
No.
No, I understand he was put in a difficult spot. I get it.
An impossible spot.
But yeah, but he wears something I always knew that, again, Family Guy. I always knew this from a Family Guy joke, because the dog outwardly says it. Brian outwardly is like, oh, look, he's wearing Han's clothes or something. But I never really noticed it was real.
Yeah, it is weird that he's just wearing Han's outfit from the first movie.
Did he need a shower? Did he get dirty in the fight or something?
He was a little bit greasy, but
Lando is a character that very much values his. He likes things spick and span, doesn't he? From the look of his Falcon and to the look of Cloud City in general, it's very much like he's a bit of a. Doesn't like it dust. He doesn't like to be dirty.
Who does Brian play in the Family Guy Star Wars?
Chewbacca, probably. That's the most one-to-one I can think of.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it would have to be Chewbacca, because he says he's the only other person in the scene with Lando. And Brian is the one that's like, oh, he's wearing the clothes. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is strange. It is weird. But hey-ho. They don't suit him as well.
No, they don't.
He can't pull it off. He tries to wear them too neat and tidy.
Yeah, he's got the collar done up as well. And it's doesn't quite work. Yeah.
Do you want to take a brief moment to talk about people's fits?
I'd love nothing more.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Where's my note? Right, here it is. everyone has a cool fucking look in this, right?
Luke Skywalker has pilot chic.
Yeah, ripped guns.
Ripped guns, yeah. When he's running about on Dagobah with his little Yoda backpack, he's like, "Look at me, I'm ripped."
I didn't know Mark Hamill had these weapons on him. These weapons of mass destruction registered to his biceps.
Yeah.
Suddenly
you're like, oh, maybe not so much of a twink after all. Like,
yeah,
maybe this is a twunk we're dealing with here.
A twonk.
A twunk.
What's a twunk? A hunk. I see.
A hunky twink. Yeah.
Okay. Leia's got a nice thermal gilet on.
Her thermal gilet is nice. I prefer her outfit on Bespin, where she like gets to like do up her hair and stuff, and she has this nice little like almost like a boyfriend cardigan sort of thing going on.
Yeah, that is a good look.
Yeah.
Han's Hoth navy jacket, just looks incredible.
It's a good look. The Hoth navy jacket. I have to say, I prefer the jacket Han to the vest Han. Really.
I think I do too. I think it's more like it fits with his character as well because he feels still a bit rock and roll and a bit out there, but he feels more put together and formal.
He does, yeah. I like it. It's a good look.
Veia's had a discreet glow up, but definitely a noticeable one.
Did you say Veia?
Did I say Veia? I meant Vader.
Okay. Whoever Veia is. Vader's had a polish, really.
It's very shiny now.
Someone's got the Windex out on Vader and give him a bit of a polish. And his cape, he goes like behind his shoulder pads now or whatever.
Oh, is that changed as well? Is it?
Yeah, he's got his silver shoulder pads out on show now and stuff. So,
I liked fucking what? Who had another fit?
Lando's got his classic blue cape look.
Oh yeah,
strong look. Lobot's got his great little robot headpiece thing.
Which one?
Lobot.
Which one's Lobot?
Lando's robot friend.
Oh, okay. The
R2-D2 looks stunning in his R2-D2 chic. C-3PO is still rocking silver leg, but then also
I noticed it far more this time.
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, oh, how have I been so fucking blind this whole time? Who else? Chewbacca gets a nice C-3PO backpack.
He does get C-3PO backpack, yeah.
Which is good. He looks very cool. I like Yoda's little hermit robes.
Ben gets blue Force Ghost chic.
Yeah, he's serving that ghost cunt. I don't know how do people say stuff like this. We get a look at Vader's big Neapolitan scoop head.
Oh yeah, in his little room.
Yeah, his little.
I always wonder what goes on in his little chamber. What's he doing in there?
Masturbating.
Come on.
Well, he might be. He's his not. Private little quarters.
He's not.
Oh, he hasn't got. Yeah.
What?
Has he?
He does. Yes, he was cut. But he was cut at the knees.
Oh yes, true.
It's not that long. So. What do you think of the Palpatine scene with Ian McDiarmid? I'm assuming you saw it with.
Yes, I watched the Disney Plus one. It's good. I like the introduction. I really like the gradualness of it all. I think the trilogy in general understands like a 3-part structure quite well. Yeah. Like in the broader sense that you've got the hero's journey and then Empire. The heroes lose, and it's never been more fucked right before the finale, which is a good place narratively to be. And I think that kind of is echoed in how they introduce the Empire. He's the Emperor. He's like referenced. I think we hear that Vader's got a master, and probably a few other lines.
He's referenced in the first one.
Yeah. So that's in A New Hope. Then we get him through a hologram in this one, and then set the stage for his full-blown kind of villainous presence in the third one.
Yeah.
I like that they... I know that it was like, again, a happy accident, but they didn't just go full tilt into having the Emperor right away being this big... It's important to set Vader up as an independent threat, because Vader's got his own stuff cooking as well. Like, the game of the Sith is they're always trying to one up and fucking off their mate.
Yeah.
So I like that Vader feels independent and threatening in his own right, and it still feels like it's a nice fun aside that the Emperor is so overlooming and has has eyes in every far reach of the galaxy, but he doesn't quite even know what his direct underling is, what he's up to, which is
I think he
fun.
does though.
I think he's, but like, he doesn't see it fully as a threat. He doesn't really respect what it does.
Yeah, it's more fun for him.
Yeah. But no, very, very cool. And I like the... this kind of brings up... that they're seen individually. It brings up this... obviously, I know we've had the light and the dark side, but in the first one, the Force was more a guiding voice in the back of Luke's head, a kind of a sixth sense. Yeah. Whereas this one really does play on the idea, and this is in Yoda and Luke's interactions as well, of like... will Luke ever turn to the dark side? Is it within him? Vader says he'll join us or die. Yoda says if you go there, basically you'll be seduced by the dark side or you'll die.
He was in that cave.
He was in that cave. That cave confused the fucking hell out of me as a child.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, he's killed Darth Vader! Oh, hang on, what?
He is Darth Vader, what?
But he's there. How can he be Darth Vader?
I'm so confused. I don't understand metaphors.
Darth Vader. Yeah, no, literally, it's that. It's how like fucking morons watch stuff now. Like it's a metaphor. If it's not, people now.
But we saw Luke. He tried to kill his nephew. No.
Yeah. Well, could it possibly have been a visual representation of something? Like, or just The Last Jedi fucks me off so much, or people's perception of The Last Jedi fucks me off so much.
99% of their complaints can be handled if they just watch the fucking movie.
Yeah. Oh, as if the whole movie about perspective showed a scene 3 times. And people think, oh, yeah, the one that pissed me off is the true one.
Oh, the one the villain told is probably the right one, I reckon.
Yeah, that makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots, honestly. Great scene, and I love again, it's also just nice to see like Vader is the height of power, so who the man that Vader bows to, it must be a big cheese, the head honcho.
It's Ian McDermott.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, hello, I'm Ian McDermott.
Do you remember that time where we could have met him?
I mean, yes. Yeah, you make it sound like he was like down the street or whatever, and we could have bumped into him. No,
we chased after him, but he was just too quick.
Yeah, it's true. Next time.
Ian McEvaded us.
Ian McEvaded us. Yeah. What else?
Darth Vader.
Great. Love that fight. Love that lightsaber duel. That Vader Luke duel.
Oh, so good.
It's good stuff, and I like that it's mostly silent as well. It's like the Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet. And then it's just on, and then it's just lightsabers and just fucking go for it, mate.
That's I think that's my favorite thing about it is there's no so often now like Rey gets taken to Snoke, and this again it is in a movie that I like. Rey gets taken to Snoke and Snoke's gloating and it's all of this, but Vader's just an animal in this. Like he's just stalking Luke the entire time, and Luke is constantly on the back. Like I think this is maybe I love the visualization of the Force Awakens duel between Kylo and Rey. I love that.
Ben.
That's Ben. Yeah, but no, at the same time.
He's a good boy and he's never done anything wrong.
In the movie where he commits genocide, I'm using his villain's name.
He's a good boy.
Fuck's sake. It's just because you fancy him. He's a nasty boy.
He's Adam Driver. How can you not?
It's true, yeah. That is true. He is a sexy boy.
He's an absolute mountain of a man.
Have you seen that video where he's in a movie that's out right now called Ferrari?
Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah, I'm familiar.
No, it's not this movie.
It is.
People must think I get just aggravated so easily, but behind the scenes, Nathan does this all the fucking time, and it pushes my buttons. Right, but anyway, he did like a Q&A for that, like he did like a screening followed by like a director and stars of Q&A. And there's a video of some guy being like, I found the driving sequences a bit boring, and like that's just his question to Adam Driver. And the mic goes back to Adam Driver and he goes, I don't know, fuck you. And it's so good.
Good for him.
Yeah, I like that he's done. He's obviously so burnt by the Star Wars, like people just hounding him 24/7.
He's very funny, Adam Driver.
He is.
Have you seen his SNL stuff? It's like some of the best.
He's got good. Have you seen Marriage Story?
I have seen Marriage Story. Yeah.
There's parts of that he's just. It's a terribly sad movie, but he's just funny in it.
Yeah. He is very funny.
Yeah, he's a good one, and I'm glad he's graduated from the Harrison Ford school of just telling press to fucking get stuffed if he can't be asked.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, literally. But no, I think this duel specifically, I love to imagine people in 1977 watching light sticks and a little touching of them with the effects of the clashing sabers.
Yeah.
And I know why that. Narratively, that duel was very subdued, and technically I feel like they could have gone further if they narratively needed to, but the whole point of that was more Ben accepting death, and Vader kind of provoking it. But I love in this, can you imagine being like, oh, I hope they have more of that stick fight. The lightsaber fight was so cool in the last one, and then people watching this 3 years later in the cinema being like, what the fuck?
Yeah it's great. It's also every now and then you see something on Twitter. It's like, oh, why can't the sequels do good lightsaber fights like the prequels or whatever? And it's like, no, because I respect the lightsaber choreo. They're fun to look at and stuff, and I do love that Obi-Wan Anakin duel on Mustafar and stuff. But there's also an element of I'm watching choreography.
It's a dance. It's a very well prepared dance. Yeah,
and well prepared, yes, but it is a dance. This feels like a fight. This feels like it's not something that's been pre-planned out. We don't know the steps. It's I'm on the back for defending myself against this fucking machine monster who's coming at me with his giant red lightsaber.
I think choreography and I think the sequels find a really healthy middle ground.
Yeah,
of being more interesting traversally, Rey runs up stuff and they incorporate the Force a little bit more into the duels, and they oh, my dog made a noise, and there was a lot of there's a bit more sliding around on the floor, and it feels a bit more energetic, but they never lose sight of this is two people having a fight, that I think sometimes the prequels lost. The prequels duels are saved by good performances. If there were lesser performers in the prequels, it would have just felt like 20 minutes of okay, someone strike the killing blow already. But yeah, no, this one, like I say, it is a step up from the first one, and I think it's very
it's great. I love that moment where they're on the little bridge thing, whatever it is, and Luke slashes Vader's arm, and and just that moment is so well done, because it's it's a sequence of a few beats, lightsaber arm, all this sort of stuff. It's really well done. It's great.
It also shows that Luke he's had the tiniest bit of training, but I don't know, was there a lot of lightsaber training during that? It's mostly Force, mental based, right?
Naturally sort of gifted,
father like son.
Yeah.
But I like that it does two things. It shows that Vader is more, despite being an aggressive Force and very quick to frustration, he is more level-headed than Luke. And that's not something you often see from a villain and hero dynamic. Luke is a bit more desperate and earnest and brave, sometimes recklessly brave. Whereas Vader is a lot more measured and calm and precise, and it adds that layer of detail that will come to be later explored, of oh yeah, he was trained by the same people, he's just a lot further along, and a lot more talented at this than Luke is at first.
Of course. And this of course leads to arguably the biggest twist in cinema history. Is it?
Probably. And probably
the most famous one, certainly.
Easily the most famous twist, yeah. And probably maybe the first kind of, I know we spoke recently on our other podcast about like the first kind of use of like a recorded the word spoilers, like, and how that came into like the pop culture zeitgeist and like how that is now, that one word alone unilaterally describes, you don't ruin that movie for me, I haven't seen that movie or something.
Yeah.
And you get that, like, this is kind of the first thing where, like, if people were waiting in line for the cinema, I think there's something, isn't there, like a Simpsons bit?
There is a Simpsons bit, yeah. Homer and Marge have just seen it, but, you know, there's still lines out the cinema, and they just walk out, and Homer says, "Oh, wow, what a great movie. I can't believe Vader was Luke's father." And then everyone's like, "Hey, thanks a lot, asshole." Yeah.
But that's true. Like, and like, the only moment I've had similar to that is where, like, I think, you were with me when we saw Avengers Endgame. And
we walked into we had to walk into the cinema like holding our ears.
The people were coming out and obviously talking about the movie, and we just had our hands over our ears. And then what was funnier is that we had to then pay our dues later on when we came out of the cinema and we got a cab back to my house, and the cab driver, we got in and he was like, "You just seen Endgame?" And we went, "Yeah." And I haven't seen it yet.
It was there was a radio advert that played for it. Wasn't there?
Yeah.
It was an advert on the radio that said Avengers Endgame tickets available now. Whatever. It was like, "Oh, you guys going to see that?" We're like, "Oh, we actually just saw it."
Yeah. And he was like, "Please say nothing." And we had to respect this cab driver's wishes and the whole ride home not talk about the Endgame, which was pretty wild. But this is easily, at least definitely the first big plot twist.
Yes.
And probably unmatched since. Like, I don't think anything has collectively surprised, like, or been as big of a deal in pop culture.
I don't think anything has ever been as big and as well known as this is. Because, like, even if you know nothing about Star Wars, like, there's no way you don't know this. Like, it's leaked its way into every, like, facet of pop culture. Like, what TV show has not done a parody of this scene? You know, like, what cartoon has not done something similar to this? It's fucking everywhere. You can't go. It's so difficult to, like, watch the actual Star Wars blind as, like, you know, people did in the 70s and 80s because of how well known and well famous the line "I am your father." It's so well known. Everyone knows it. Yeah.
It's one of the most quotable movie lines in history.
Yeah.
Also, like, it's part of a great ending of a great movie.
Get the quote wrong though.
Oh yeah, you have a personal bugbear about this, don't you?
I wrote a monologue about it at uni. Do you remember?
You did. I remember this. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wrote a monologue about it at university. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh god. Yeah. But yeah, it is very much like this. You know, there's a plot twist. The villains win. Compare it to I know I keep banging on about this, but compare it to the last movie and the hero's journey story. This is such a subversion from what people probably expected the Star Wars sequel to do.
And it's so well done as well. It's not just the twist as well, it's how it's executed. It's the great delivery from James Earl Jones. It's the music with the John Williams, the and the fucking no.
No! That's not true!
That's impossible! It's so good, man.
And like it makes me forgive the bloodless hand. It makes me forgive so much. Like it's a great actually, on that, like, this is
bloodless
probably...
hand makes sense. It's a lightsaber.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because it would have immediately fleshed it over.
Instantly cauterized. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. No, actually, in the last movie.
Yeah, the last movie was wrong though.
That's something you have to do with Star Wars. It's just whatever was the newest thing is right.
Not always, no, but in this case, yes.
Yeah, no, this is an insanely quotable movie. It's got "I love you, I know." Do I love you not? There is no try.
Yes, there is.
Hello, Luke. I'm your daddy.
This is Rogue 2. I found them. Repeat.
Yep.
I found them.
Oh yes, that infamous quote that people say every day.
I know that. That's a good one.
You are not the quota of regular people when it comes to Star Wars, Nathan.
Everyone's doing that quote.
Oh, yes, my mistake. No, all right. Quickly.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Again, Family Guy tricked me. I thought that was going to be such a longer pause.
It's not that long.
And I was like, why are they making jokes out of nothing? Oh, wait, that's entirely just what Family Guy is.
Yeah. They make stuff up.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, though.
That reminds me of the time I was selling golf balls to this famous person or something. Cue a joke.
I am this famous person. I like to buy some golf balls.
Anyway. That was the joke. I couldn't think of a punchline.
No, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because I never really considered it before. You know when Luke says to Ben and Yoda that he's off? He's like, I'm going, my friends need me.
I'm off to Bespin.
Yeah. Peace out. And obviously Ben and Yoda are very like steadfast in the
Luke, you will stay and complete your training.
Yeah, but they're also concerned if he goes.
I sound like I'm a beetle, Luke.
Yeah.
Come live in my yellow submarine, Luke.
Yes, very good. But it is this like we've spoken about it before in other podcasts and stuff on Star Wars, that this is like the Jedi's fatal flaw is their hubris and their belief that they know everything.
Yeah.
And the belief that they are kind of a higher power than they are. And they're also their ignorance to change and their dismissal of like any new ideas. And is this like obviously Luke not been raised as a Jedi like other Padawan weirdos are, like he has that emotional attachment to things. He wants to go and risk stuff for his friends. Is this kind of representing that in a way, like him defying them? Is this the secret sauce that the Jedi have been missing? Because I always read the balance, and I know you have a different interpretation to this, and there's probably things that I'm missing on it. But I always read it that Luke was the balance between the light and the dark, and that the light was very universally one thing, the dark was very universally the other, and Luke tiptoed between the two. But your understanding is that the light side is the balance, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So how do you read that scene where Luke goes?
I think it's just the Jedi, and the Jedi in this case being Yoda and Ben, just holding on to what they know, because like even and at this point it's difficult because there wasn't the prequels and the Clone Wars and everything else and stuff, but like it's despite what has happened, it's still them kind of almost blindly holding onto their faith and blindly holding on to this is like for better or for worse, this is what we know, and like
this could be the last hope. Let's not change the formula now.
Yeah, attachments are forbidden. Attachments are bad. Look, your father was attached to fucking anything that walked, all right? And look what happened to him, all right? Like, you fucking... It didn't end up well, and we can't do that. And you'll just end up just like him. Your attachment's forbidden. Forget about your friends, and like... And that's kind of like... It's wrong, because Luke's like... No, like, I shouldn't forget about my friends. Like, they're my friends, and I love them, and I want to go save them and stuff. And yeah, sure, it's probably a trap, but I want to make sure my friends are okay. And yeah, it's kind of just outdated. I don't want to say religious dogma, but it is outdated. Just
well, but the Forces and the Jedi in themselves are based on religious components.
But it is a religion. It is a religion.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that sort of stuff. But it's just them holding on to what they know and what is safe and what is comfortable. And for better or worse. And this is just the way I see it as well. Like, if people see it otherwise, that's absolutely fine. But I think Luke is right to do what he does, and it's because Luke is, he hasn't been brought up in a fucking Grand Jedi temple with the rules of the Jedi Order forced down his throat from the age of 7, which I think is probably a good thing, and why he's able to to do things differently and succeed where they failed and that sort of stuff. You know, he's not blindly following this religious text and that kind of stuff. And I mean, look what happens to him eventually. Look when he does fall back on what the Jedi should be and what religion should be and stuff. And look how he kind of ends up and stuff. And you know,
yeah.
I just think it's Luke willing to make a change, which is the good thing, basically.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that was kind of my read on it as well. It was more of the case of like, this is the breath of fresh air that, although is scary, change is often scary, especially in like organized religions.
Yeah.
It can be quite disorientating for, I guess, like, for lack of a better term, the elders of certain institutions.
And I think like the thing like about like the light side being balanced, I think like that's, to me, that's how I see it. That's the thing. But like the like the light side and the Jedi are two different things. Like the Jedi embody the light side and are all about it and use it, but they're not the whole fully 100% representation of the light side, though. So
yeah.
So they can do things wrong and differently to what the light side is, really.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's one of the things that Star Wars is good for. It's good for various interpretations. Like, it's,
of course,
it's nice that it's something that, like, it. I was just thinking like about it now, and if this was, if like say like my interpretation of how this movie treats it, of like, and this could be right or wrong, whatever. It just is how the way I took it. This is years ago as well. I haven't really thought about it too much to reassess it, but like, if Luke was the balance, and like if this movie was made today, or if this movie and then its follow-up were made in modern times, there would be a big scene going, we had it wrong the whole time, don't you see? You never had the balance. You need a guy like me to do this and this. Like, it would be over-explained, and it would fancy its own idea too much, where I like that it's left in terms of like, no, the Force is it's like a higher power, and it isn't supposed to be fully understood. It's just supposed to be respected. And I like that even in the filmmaking side of this universe, they treat that with a level of, no, we don't fully understand that ourselves. We can't touch that. That's up to how individual people respond to it. Which is cool. And also probably a more delicate way to handle the religious aspect of it, and like the calling of God and higher power anyway. Because it's, you know, people get quite personal and defensive over their religions, and it's a good way to respect it whilst also being like, yeah, it's still a silly little sci-fi thing.
Yes, and I believe this is the part of the show where you wanted to read your list of notes of why every major religion is wrong and bad, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right, Nathan. But I'm just seeing that it's not on my list. I think maybe. Oh no, it was you sent it to me. I'm pretty sure, didn't you?
Oh, all right. I'll go then. All right.
Yeah,
First
please.
Of all, Christians, you're all pedophiles. Second of
No,
all,
Nathan. Take it back. Not all of them. I'm not saying there's none. I'm not saying there's only a few.
There's definitely some. It's not none of them, and that's already too many.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. One is too many. Yeah, I guess so.
Nice. Anyway, that's just cancelled.
Yeah, now glad I said all those nice things about gently touching around religion.
Not me.
Anyway, look, it's a very cool movie. It puts our heroes on the back foot. It's a great subversion. Probably one of the most. It's probably the. Maybe this is a narrow-minded view. There's probably stuff that. There's obviously stuff that I haven't seen. But speaking in terms of what I have seen, this is like one of the best-known sequels for going bigger, bolder, grander, deeper, darker to a degree. A lot of now, The Empire Strikes Back has become synonymous with being the subversive, darker entry in the franchise. Like, people will say, "Oh, that movie's The Empire Strikes Back of this franchise."
People often are like, it's The Empire Strikes Back ending because it's all dire and no hope and anything like that. And I was like, It's not really true, though, is it?
Empire Strikes Back ending is miserable a little bit, but also very hopeful.
The ending of Empire Strikes Back is it's all about hope. It's all about, well, we may not win the day, but we'll get it next time, and the rebellion is here, and we're all gonna go and win the fight because we are the rebellion and that sort of stuff. It's not like everything's ruined. No.
Yeah. And you are on the back foot in terms of like, new information is revealed to us, but I also think that's a reward for the protagonists, right? Like I know Han being frozen in carbonite and Luke losing a hand aren't exactly great things to happen.
Yes.
Right. But it is, I think there's a liberation in the sense that it cements their mission. Not cements, if you pardon the pun, when it comes to Han Solo, but like it makes them clear fast of the Emperor. The Empire can't keep getting away with this bullshit, right? Yeah. We need to stop them. We need to save our friend. They come together. Han was someone that spent a lot of the movie saying he was going to go and leave, and been great to fight with you guys, but I'm on my own thing now. And at the start of the next movie is about getting him back. They become a unified team. Luke makes a choice to leave. He hasn't completed his training. He does that in devotion of his friends. Finds out some shocking truths, but I also think that's a revelation that is a good thing. Luke, I think, to further respect the Force and come to...
Yeah, let's not forget, Ben and Yoda were lying to him.
Yeah, he is rewarded with the truth. It may be an uncomfortable truth, but he's now liberated from that oppressive lie.
And then they try to be like, well... Yeah, not
from a certain point of view.
Yeah, not technically lying, I'm like, what I said was true from a certain point of view.
I absolutely skirted around the truth.
That's the most gaslighting bullshit anyone has ever said,
Yeah, it's true. It's a bit like, come on, man. But yeah, overall, yeah, I'm loving this rewatch. I really like the movie. I'm jazzed for the next. Have you got any little things?
I've got a few little things. I've got none written down, but I'll do them off the dome.
Okay, go for it.
Do your little one first.
I love Han's growing resentment for C-3PO. You get the sense that C-3PO has just been around him for too long in close quarters.
Yeah.
Like in the first one, he was pretty much like, yeah, this droid's a bit stupid, but whatever. And in this one now, pretty much at any time C-3PO speaks, it's like...
Is it this one where 3PO is like, excuse me, sir, might I inquire what's going on? And Han just goes, why not? But then never follows up.
Yeah. And I also like that, like, it shows that Han and Leia are getting closer to each other in that there's a bit where C-3PO is just talking to Han, and Leia comes in and just switches him off and then starts speaking to Han instead. And it's like, you two really love each other, don't you? You just have no idea yet. Yeah, great. I love his kind of... He's just played more for comic relief in this, and it's funny.
Yeah, it's true. It's good to see Boba Fett make his official debut. I know he showed up last week, and it was like, I'm here too. But, like, this is his official debut.
And it's still that fun thing of mixing performances.
Yeah, it's still mixing performances. Is Jeremy Bulloch in the costume, and Tamara Morrison doing the redubbed voice on the version we watched. He's worth more to me alive. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
The original... What do you make of the original Boba Fett voice?
I don't like it, but that's only because like this is the one I know and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think it's cool.
And this is the canon voice, so I'm like, that's not how Boba Fett sounds. It makes no sense that he'd have that voice, you know.
It's true, yeah.
He's worth more to me alive.
Yeah, I still think it's a cool voice. It's still very like gruff and gritty, and yeah.
Do you? I'll take off my next little thing. Go
on. You may as well do it now. I'm realizing I've already pillaged my little things for other little comments I've made.
Do you know the connection between this movie and Doctor Who?
Give me a second. Let me sit on it for a moment. So we already spoke about Peter Cushing, and Peter Cushing's not in this movie.
Yes.
Is there like a reused planet, ice planet thing, or
reused is the right word, but
is there reused? Do they reuse the monster, the big Hoth monster?
No.
Then no, I don't. Put me out of my misery.
Bosk himself shows up on the on the in the bounty hunter scene on the Star Destroyer when they're all like, "We're all gonna get Han Solo" or whatever. Yeah. And he's there. He's just got his feet out or whatever.
He's doing a little hiss.
Yes. The classic outfit that Bosk wears, that one, it's actually a like a astronaut pilot's outfit from the 10th Planet episode of Doctor Who. It's
shit, okay.
Literally just the same costume that someone wears in that episode. And like,
so
if
someone
you watch
just
the
called
episode,
in a favour.
Yeah, well, it was filmed at the same studios. It's all filmed at the fucking or moved somehow or something, because I think this was Pinewood possibly. But yeah, you watch that episode of Doctor Who, it's just like, because obviously this is the more famous thing now. It's just like, oh, it's just a guy in Bosk's outfit for some reason.
That's. I mean, they probably just thought no one will ever notice this.
Yeah.
Not realizing that Doctor Who and Star Wars are going to be two mega hits of pop culture. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, that is brilliant. I like that. No, I never knew that. That's quite cool.
Yeah, it's good fun. What else? We got Boba Fett. We got anything else? Big Worm.
Big Worm, like the Big Worm.
Makes no sense, but it's pretty cool.
Mm. Oh, I like. This is not really a little thing. I just like the. I like the way Luke takes down an AT-AT. Just fucking hoys a grenade into it on a zip line.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Cool stuff. Nathan, it is the point in the show where we do some recommendations. Do you know what that is?
I do. That's recommendations.
It is, and you're right. You do know what it is, but for people that don't know, I'll just say anyway. This is the point in the show where we recommend stuff to each other and to you, the listeners. It could be something we've watched, read, listened to, experienced, anything that we've done this past week that we'd love to share with you, and maybe you can go and check it out too. Nathan, what are you recommending this week?
I want you to go first.
Okay. It's the movie Rye Lane.
I don't know what that is.
It's a nice, independently made London movie set mostly in...
London? I've been there.
Hey, you have.
I lived there.
It's set mostly in Peckham Rye.
I used to live in Peckham Rye.
Did you?
Not really.
You lived near it.
Yeah, near it, yeah, but...
Yeah, I walked... Peckham Rye used to be one of my near stations. I used to go there quite a lot. But anyway, it's really cool. It's... I forget the director's name. It's a first-time director. And it's a really interesting rom-com that has like a great visual style to it. Like, it's very vibrant, very colourful. Two very warm leads, and it's mostly actors that you've never heard of, apart from one instance, which is a very funny, very well-known man who just is in the movie for no reason whatsoever, for like 3 lines, maybe.
Who is it? Spoil it.
No, I'm not going to spoil it, because people might go and watch it.
Is it Rishi Sunak?
No. Why would that be something to celebrate?
It's the first name that popped into my head for some reason.
Terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's a good movie. It's very fun. It's a great rom-com. And it's also like just a really breezy watch. I think it's like 80 minutes or something. It's super quick. So yeah, good one to stick on if you're into a quick, earnest rom-com filled with style and a lot of nice substance.
Lovely stuff. Well, Lawrence, I am going to tell you about my next recommendation. Lawrence, I'm going to recommend the TV show Echo. Echo.
Have you watched it all?
I watched it all. I watched all 5 episodes. That's right, there's only 5. It's breezy, it's short, it's good. It's really good. I had a good time watching it. You obviously hate it because it's
have
not
no
Daredevil.
opinion on it. Haven't seen it.
No, you complained that it's not Daredevil, didn't you?
I said that they leaned into Daredevil quite a bit. And we're like, look at Daredevil back in this show, and then apparently he's in like one scene.
Because it's not Daredevil's show.
Well, yeah, but then fucking...
It's called Echo. And also, you hate all the Marvel women stuff.
That's just not true, Nathan.
Is it? Did you enjoy Miss Marvel? Oh, you didn't see it. Did you enjoy the Marvels? Oh, you didn't see it. Did you enjoy Echo?
But that doesn't mean I'm not avoiding Nathan. I'm not avoiding Marvel because of women. I'm avoiding Marvel because so often they put out crap.
Lawrence, but you go see all the crap stuff starring men. You were first in line to see Quantumania.
No, yes, because I had to work on it. I had to make a video on it. There are certain things I don't want to see, Nathan, but I have to see them.
I bet you're first in line for Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, I like Daredevil. Daredevil has a proven track record of seasons 1 to 3 being great.
He's in this.
Yeah, for a scene.
Fisk is in this.
To be fair, I do like Fisk, but I'm probably still not going to watch this.
Well, I think you're missing out because it's a genuinely great show. Had a really good time watching it. Some amazing performances from I don't know her name, but the actress who plays Maya Echo, and Vincent D'Onofrio himself. He's really good in this. Also, some just really well made in terms of like film bullshit like sequences. Like there's a moment where like episode 3 opens as like a silent movie from like the 20s and stuff, and it's like it's just really well done because obviously the whole scene is that like Maya is deaf, you know, and there's a lot of like just long sequences where you're just watching people talk in sign language, but it's like it's just beautiful. It's really engaging. At no point are you like ever like you never feel like you're missing out on anything. It's really well done, I think, and I had a good time with it. But you will hate it because you're, you know,
what? Because I'm what? Go on.
Racist and ableist and
what?
And misogynistic.
I'm not even gonna do you the good grace of responding to that. That is a ludicrous statement.
There you go.
Thank you very, very much for listening, especially because we have gone off topic a few times. If you have enjoyed the show, then please feel free to give us a little 5-star review. It'd be very much appreciated. And you can do that on your podcast platform of choice, especially Apple. You can go over there and leave a fun little message. That would be much appreciated. And next week, we are going to be doing this.
You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master.
I will not turn, and you'll be forced to kill me.
If that is your destiny.
Wahoo, it's not Mario. Are you mad at me? Say Wahoo, it's not Mario.
Oh, do I say that?
Yeah, we always say it.
Wahoo, it's not Mario.
Thank you. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Another Happy Pod. That's where you'll get little post reminders for new episodes every single Friday at 10 a.m. It's also a place where you can suggest us topics. Follow the link in our pinned tweet. We're not making any promises, but we do often like to get some input, maybe some suggestions. We might add them to the schedule. Nathan, I know you're aware of this, but I'd love for you to tell other people about the other podcasts that we do.
Yes, it's called Still Got Legs. It's our Doctor Who Rewatch podcast where every week we watch and discuss an episode of Doctor Who. Come join us. It's a good, fun time. I love you.
Is that to me?
No, never.
Oh, fine. Well, I love you, at least.
You've been nasty today. And you still haven't bought me my ice cream.
So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'll get on that right away. Thank you very much for listening again. We will see you next week. Stay groovy.